Alright guys, a boatload of new releases coming out, and I haven't been doing these videos that frequently, so a lot comes out. I write down things that I hear about, and then I delete them because they've already come out. So some of the stuff maybe you already heard, and I'm already starting to compile new fragrances for the next videos. The next video in this theme. But let's get started and talk about some new fragrances that are on the horizon if they haven't come out already. So the first fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is from the house of Eccentric Molecules. They just launched Molecule 1 plus Cistus. So now they have Molecule 1 plus Champaca as a brand new release. So Molecule 1 plus Cistus was in our latest mystery box. Let me know if you got it and what your thoughts are. But similar idea here, Molecule 1 plus Champaca basically features ISOE Super and the note of Champaca. It's a tropical floral note. So this is the first floral one. And if you count iris as a true flower, then yeah, we've had a couple, but this I think is the first true floral flanker to Molecule 1. And I'm quite excited for it. I think it'll go into a very solar direction with that typical ISOE Super, DNA. So basically, it's the original fragrance with the addition of the Champaca note. Quite excited. I love eccentric molecules. Really love their fragrances, and I look forward to their flankers. So let's see when that comes out and how exciting it's going to be. But next, we've got a fragrance from the house of Guerlain called L'Homme Ideal Cologne Forte. So another flanker to the popular L'Homme Ideal collection of fragrances. This is Eau de Parfum concentration. Seems like they're taking it into a frozen direction or a metallic direction. We've got notes of grapefruit, frankincense, vetiver, and almonds. Who's a fan of this collection? The parfum of this fragrance is quite delicious. I felt like it was the weakest out of the three parfums from Guerlain. So obviously this is not a parfum fragrance, so it's going to be much lighter, but it is eau de parfum. So I've already ordered my bottle. As soon as it comes, I'll review it for you guys, let you know what I think about it. Let's move on to the next fragrance. It's from the house of AZZARO. It's Forever Wanted Absolu. It's another flanker. The elixir was actually quite good. And even though I don't care for that original collection of the Wanted series of fragrances, the elixir was quite delicious. I really liked it with its leathery, fruity touches. But this is the Absolu. It's ambery whiskey accord, animalic vanilla, captivating incense. So they're not listing much of a notes breakdown, just a top and a heart and a base. So you kind of get an idea of what it is. Vanillic, it's smoky and boozy. And then they mentioned the animalic there. So let's see how animalic it is for a mass market fragrance. Let me know if you guys liked the elixir of this series. Let me know if you are a fan of the entire collection. I'm not. But as I said, the elixir was great, so I'm hoping this is going to be great as well. We shall see. But let's move on to the house of Narciso Rodriguez. So 2 years ago, they launched the Musk Vetiver. This year, they're launching Musc Santal. Narciso Rodriguez for Him Musc Santal, created by Florian Gallo, featuring notes of musk, sandalwood, cedar, juniper berries, clary sage. Who's a fan of this collection? I think it's an eau de toilette. So the Musk Vetiver was eau de toilette. Most likely this is an eau de toilette as well. They're more fresh experiences, and I'm a fan of musk and woody musks. Simplistic sounding, classy, maybe gentlemanly creation. So it doesn't seem like it's going to go too intense. It's lots of woods, aromatic notes, and herbs and things like that. So we'll have to get our nose on it soon. But there's also a female, not a counterpart, but a female release from Narciso Rodriguez. I feel like the brand launches a women's fragrances more frequently than the men's fragrances, but I'm happy that they're launching men's fragrances as well. But the ladies' fragrance is For Her Pure Musk Blanc. For Her Pure Musk Blanc, created by Sonia Constant. It's clean notes, aldehydes, white flowers, jasmine, musk, cedar, amber, vanilla, and bergamot. Who's a fan of this series of fragrances? Let me know, add a comment below. I actually do enjoy Sonia's creations. She did the For Him Blue Noir series of fragrances, all of them. So I have a video on the channel of those fragrances. Go catch it. My favorite is the Parfum, but seems like they've moved on from the For Him Blue Noir series. Now they've started the Musk series. We first had the Vetiver, now we have the Santal. But the ladies' fragrances, there's a ton of different flankers. And I think there's probably more of a market for the ladies' fragrances than the men's. But if you're a fan of the vetiver, let me know. The vetiver was very ice cold, crisp, and clean. It's got a lot of musk. Musks tend to go in that direction if they're the clean musks versus obviously the animalic musks. So we'll just see what happens for Him Musc Santal. All right, we've got 3 fragrances from Amouage. Amouage launching a lot of new fragrances. We've got a fragrance called Line 618, created by Nathalie Lorson, featuring notes of frankincense, black pepper, coconut milk, pineapple, heliotrope, sandalwood, patchouli, peach, plums, pine, gaiac wood, and leather. Typical of Amouage style fragrances to feature frankincense. The interesting notes breakdown, though, and a big fan of Nathalie Lorson. She did Lilac Love for the brand, which I absolutely love, although it's been reformulated. Let's see what Line 618 is all about. I don't know anything about these 3 fragrances. I haven't heard anything about them. Haven't been on social media like Instagram. I've been on YouTube, but I haven't been posting much on Instagram, so I got to get back and hear what people are talking about. But the second fragrance is by Julian Rascanet. It's called Sequence. It's leather, raspberry, tonka beans, lychee fruit, osmanthus, oud, amberwood, rose, and saffron. What are your thoughts on this one? Let me know. Add a comment below. Let's move on to the third and final Amouage fragrance. It's called Remain, created by Pierre Negrin. Pierre Negrin did the interlude series of fragrances. He also did Journeyman with Alberto Morillas. I love Journeyman. Even more than, I think I like Journeyman more than Interlude, but I got my nose on it recently at a retailer. I felt like it was also butchered or smelled a little different. Maybe it hasn't been macerated. I don't know. But Pierre Negrin does some great work, and this is the latest fragrance that he's done for Amouage, featuring notes of frankincense, tonka beans, ambergris, ylang ylang, bergamot, gaiac wood, juniper, vanilla, lilies, mandarin, pimento, and patchouli. These fragrances sound like what these perfumers do, and the fact that it has frankincense for Pierre Negrin, I mean, yeah, it's Amouage, but going back to the Julian Rascanet fragrance, he's done fragrances like this so much before. So, I mean, fruity rose oud, it sounds like the moon. Let's hope it's totally different. All right, there's a new fragrance from the house of Ulika, and it's a Lucky Scent exclusive called Nota Lucky, and it's created by one of my favorite perfumers, Amélie Bourgeois. So I'm quite excited for this one. I'm not sure I'm excited as much as the fragrance sounds like, but more excited about the perfumer making a fragrance. So let's see, because it's a fruity fragrance, but it features notes of passion fruit, coconut milk, ylang ylang, bergamot, ambrette, tuberose, incense, musk, oud, and saffron. So maybe it's fruity, but it's a nice blend of the oud, musk, incense, and saffron together to go into more of a leathery direction. So amber, woody, leather, spicy with kind of a gourmand fruity thing up top. It sounds great. I want to get my nose on that one. But then we've got a fragrance, a new one from the house of Clive Christian. It's called Strange Heavens Out of the Blue. This is sounding like a true gourmand. Yeah, gourmand fragrances are not gonna die, and people are wishing that they would die. But I don't know. There's definitely a market for gourmand fragrances, and the more people buy them, the more they're going to make them. So this is cocoa, orange blossom, coffee, pink pepper, anise, caramel, vanilla, smoke, and jasmine. So anise, I have to be honest, is one of my favorite notes. Doesn't come up that often, but I've got one more fragrance after the next one that also features it. Anytime I see this note, I have to get my nose on it because I love the smell of anise and I love the flavor of it. So I really enjoy fragrances with this note. So Clive Christian's Strange Heavens Out of the Blue sounds really, really awesome to me. Let me know what you guys think. If you've gotten your nose on any of these fragrances, do add a comment and let us know what your thoughts are on them. Let's move on to the Alien collection of fragrances from the house of Mugler. It's Alien Pulp, created by Dominic Ropion. I think he's been creating all of the Alien fragrances. Did you guys know that there was an Alien Oud and Alien Musk as well? I have the Oud. I've got like maybe 2/3 of a bottle, but I never got the musk, and now I'm wishing I got the musk. And those were really great flankers back when Mugler was under AZZARO. But now we have a fragrance called Alien Pulp, and it features notes of jasmine, musk, vanillin, cashmeran, raspberry, lemon peel, sweet orange, green mandarin. Who's a fan of the collection? Let me know, add a comment below. Stay tuned for my Dominic Ropion deep dive. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. If not this coming weekend, the following weekend. But then we've got Jean-Paul Gaultier's new Le Male flanker called Le Male in Blue. And this is the fragrance that features the note of anise. It's anise, lavender, and benzoin. These are the three notes that they're crediting it. So we've got the aromatic lavender that's in most all of the Le Male fragrances. I haven't seen anise come up at all in the Le Male collection fragrances. Maybe there's been a flanker down the line. I don't know. It's been around for 30 years. So yeah, but then we've got benzoin, and benzoin came up in the elixir. So the elixir has that benzoin, the ambery, resinous, kind of vanillic note. And so this sounds really great to me. I can't wait to get my nose on it. I don't know where it's sold. As soon as I can get my hands on it, I will review it for you guys because, as I said, I love anise in fragrances. And if you are a fan too, it's not only anise, but also licorice if you can get your hands on a bottle. But Mugler did B-Men in the green bottle. That, to me, was one of the best Mugler. I wouldn't say it's an Amen flanker. It was an original fragrance, but I'm kind of connected all together because it's all been Amen. There's been B-Men, and then there's been all the Amen flankers. But anyway, get your hands on that one if you can, if there's any out there, and let me know if you've gotten your nose on Le Male Blue. I mean Le Male in Blue. But we've got two more Jean-Paul Gaultier fragrances, and this is part of the Scandal series of fragrances. We've got Scandal Pour Homme Elixir, Black Cherries, Patchouli, and Tonka. Then we've got Scandal Elixir for the ladies. It's Blackberry, Iris, and Patchouli. Let me ask you guys, are you a fan of the Scandal series? Has it caught on as much as the Le Male series? I think it's not as exciting for me for some reason, but I don't know, maybe the Elixir is gonna be the one that's gonna do it for me. What do you guys think? Let me know, add a comment below. But let's move on to Armani. We've got several fragrances from Armani here. We've got Acqua di Gio, EDP, Eau de Parfum Intense. How many more flankers of this fragrance are they gonna make? God, do they already have 100? They've got so many, but it's a cash machine for them, so they're gonna crank them all out. So it's bergamot, green apples, sea notes, clary sage, woodsy notes, and amber. That clary sage note keeps coming up for men's fragrances. What is it about clary sage that appears a lot in men's fragrances? Do you guys like clary sage? I mentioned in a video recently I was gonna do a video on clary sage, a deep dive. If you're interested, let me know. I feel like clary sage also takes more of a backseat in fragrances. It's just there to push the fragrance along. It's mostly a heart note. I mean, I don't see too many fragrances with a dominant clary sage note. But if you're interested in clary sage, let me know and I'll put together a deep dive on this note that I feel like is used a lot in men's mass market fragrances. But let's move on to another Armani fragrance, this time in their Privé collection. It's called Oud Nacre. It's Alberto Moria. So I think Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum Intense is also him. I just didn't see a name for it, but this Privé fragrance is credited to him. Oud Nacre features notes of vanillin, oud, sandalwood, ambroxan, patchouli, jasmine, and saffron. So it's an oud, vanillic, it's ambery, and also leathery for this one. Maybe a little bit floral because they have jasmine featured. So this collection has been removed from Neiman Marcus, and I think I found out why. I think it's because Neiman Marcus doesn't pay their bills, which is a sad thing. But YSL collection is also removed. So yeah, Saks Neiman's is having a challenging time. So I don't know where to go and smell this fragrance, unfortunately. We shall see. But I'm curious. I want to get my nose on some of the new stuff from Armani's Privé collection, but it's going to be very difficult. But there's one more actually two more fragrances from Armani. We've got Orange Mediterranée. Orange Mediterranée, it's a great combo, right? This one doesn't have a name credited to it, not a perfumer credited to it, but it's bitter orange, citron, pelargonium, lemon peel, bergamot, fennel, tea, bay leaves, and geranium. Sounds good, right? Sounds like a very fresh citrus-focused fragrance with aromatic notes. Honestly, I feel like Armani is one of the brands that launches the most fragrances. They got flankers galore, like Stronger With You spices. Now we've got a spices edition of this. Is this part of the Middle East collection? Anyway, vanilla, cinnamon, chestnuts, amber, dates, leather, cloves, saffron, lavender, apricots, black pepper, bergamot, mandarin. I'll get my nose on it. We'll see. I like spices. I like chestnuts. I'm not the biggest fan of Stronger With You fragrances. There's a few I like. And let me know what your thoughts are on this collection and also this new spices flanker. So Byredo has two new Absolu de Parfum fragrances. It's Black Saffron Absolu de Parfum, which most likely is created by Jérôme Epinay. It's leather, blonde woods, vetiver, rose, saffron, pomelo, juniper berries, black violet, raspberry. Sounds great, right? And then we've got Gypsy Water Absolu de Parfum. Once again, Jérôme Epinay. Black pepper, bergamot, pine needles, incense, vanilla, orris butter, carrot seeds, ambroxan, and white suede. Now it's time for them to crank out new, higher concentration fragrances. But you know, I thought the Absolu de Parfum fragrances were higher concentrated. They claim that they're eau de parfum, so you're not really getting a higher concentration, or are you? Let me know. Maybe they are. They're just writing eau de parfum because of the concentration being not super concentrated like a parfum. Maybe it's bordering. I don't know, but who's a fan of the Absolu de Parfum fragrances from Byredo? Who's a fan of the brand overall? And I haven't done a video on the brand for a long time. I think it's time. So stay tuned for an updated video, although I won't have a lot of the Absolu de Parfum fragrances, but I hope to do an updated Byredo video very soon. All right, last but not least, we've got 21 fragrances that I'm talking about here in this section of the video. I've got a few bonus options as well after the outro. But last but not least, we've got a new replica fragrance at Dawn. So a new one from Maison Margiela. It's pink pepper, LME, soil, rose absolute, ambrette seeds, orris root, musk, moss, cashmeran, patchouli. What do you guys think of this one? So I'm a fan of the line, but fragrances have been not so exciting lately, but I actually really love Afternoon Delight. I actually had a candle of Afternoon Delight I've been lighting recently. I love the way it smells, and it's super creamy and cozy, and I like that about it quite a bit. So let's see what At Dawn is going to be like. If you've gotten your nose on it, let me know. But that's all the fragrances I have for you here in this video up until after the outro. Let me know which fragrances you're most excited about. And stay tuned for another video like this very soon, because there's a lot of new stuff that is going to be coming out, and I want to report it to you guys, get it back on schedule and do one of these videos every 2 weeks. But do let me know which of the fragrances I spoke about you're most excited about. Add a comment below. Thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like the video and share it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Okay, we've got two new Gucci Alchemist Garden fragrances. Who's a fan of the Gucci Alchemist Garden fragrances? Let me know what you are enjoying from the line most recently. I actually did a video a month or so ago, I think just during the Thanksgiving week, of some discounted Alchemist Garden fragrances. If you're in the market, go catch that video, and you'll get some great suggestions for good discounts in that video. But the two new fragrances are Ylang Ambrato and Lignum Idealis. So Ylang Ambrato is created by Jean-Christophe Hérault, who just did the new Dolce & Gabbana The One Parfum. And this features notes of Apopanax, tobacco, tolu, cistus, oak wood, pimento leaves, tonka beans, ylang ylang, benzoin, bergamot, black pepper, and neroli. So when the brand just launched Alchemist Garden, all the fragrances were done by Alberto Morillas. Up until probably around 2023 is when they started, working with other perfumers. And I think it was around 2023 when the creative director of Gucci left. He's now at Valentino, and I can't remember. I think it's Denma from Balenciaga who took over Gucci. I can't 100% say that's the truth, but I think it is. But now they are using all kinds of different perfumers, and they're farming it out to, various different perfume houses. So this time around, it's IFF with Jean-Christophe Hérault. And then we've got Alexis Grosjean, who did Lignum Idealis. And this is featuring notes of cedar, sandalwood, vetiver, frankincense, sequoia, dreamwood, black pepper, juniper berries, and cypress. So Alexis was part of Firmenich, and I think he's now at Givaudan. He does seem to do a lot of woody fragrances. This one sounds a bit boring to me, unfortunately. I need some more excitement with some stuff. I think the first one sounds a little better, but it's an Ylang Ylang. Ylang Ylang is not one of my favorite fragrances, but I do have some favorite Ylang fragrances. But the fact that it has tobacco and ambery resinous notes, balsamic notes, it sounds really, really great. The Lignum Idealis sounds kind of boring, and just a spicy, woody, aromatic fragrance just sounds a bit underwhelming for me. But everything is up in the air. I haven't got my nose on these yet. Sometimes I say something sounds boring. It's turned out to be the best thing I've smelled in a long time. And then something that sounds really great on paper turns out to be the most boring. But let's see what these fragrances are all about. Maybe it's time for me to do a video on the entire Gucci Alchemist Garden collection of fragrances. What are your thoughts? As a deep dive, do let me know. Add a comment below. And see you guys later. Bye-bye.